Hey everybody, this is our first episode of The Drink Guide. Just like to welcome you. I'm Glenn, the bartender. This is Lynn, my colleague who's our life coach. Usually I will be serving the drinks, but today I'm going to have a drink with Lynn and we will be discussing an issue that arose at the bar the other night between a single young lady who came into, I won't say single because she's not single, but she was alone at the bar coming in to meet a friend who just happened to be a couple hours late and was proceeding to be hassled by a gentleman who wouldn't leave her alone. So where do you draw the line? When do I step in? According to you, I'm supposed to step in and tell this guy off, but...
No, that's not what I said. It depends on the situation. The question you posed to me was, what would I have done in her shoes?
Yes.
And so, the answer is dependent on a couple of factors, but if we just take a generalized answer, so she's sitting at the bar, she knows you, but she doesn't have a personal relationship with you, she just knows you from the bar. And so she's sitting at the bar, and she's being harassed by a gentleman, I'll use the term loosely, that was intoxicated, and not taking no for an answer. He asked for her phone number, she tried to fluff it off, but then eventually...
She was doing it in a very, very polite way.
Exactly, which when you first broached this to me, your question was, why don't women just tell men very, very straight and direct in a rude way?
She could have said she had a boyfriend and he probably would have left her alone. He might not have because of the alcohol factor, however.
Sure. And both of those things will happen, right? But in her situation, yes, she could have been a little more clear right from the get-go when he asked for her phone number. No, I'm sorry, I have a boyfriend. And it might have ended there.
It could have. I think it definitely would have.
You think it would have. But does it always?
No.
No. So
not from what I've seen.
Sure, exactly. And you've seen it all, right? So
we try not to.
So the question poses when you're being harassed at a bar and you say no and the harassment continues, at what point do the staff, the owner, the manager, whatever, obviously your particular establishment doesn't have doormen, so you run into a different situation, because going to a club that has doormen at it, then the bartender can wave over the doorman and they're going to take care of it, and that's their job, that's their
Correct,
role.
but you
right?
got to look at it in a different way as to, was he being loud? Was he being obnoxious? Was he, getting excited? She didn't seem to be, I knew she was pissed off, but she didn't seem to be to the point where she couldn't handle it. She never once said, can you come and help me? She never once needed my help. She didn't come across as being in any trouble. However...
But it continued.
Of course it continued. But it's a lot easier if you tell the truth and say, even if she lied and said, I'm with him, and pointed at me or some other server that was working, and I'm just here to check and have a quick drink, and I'm meeting up with him after work.
Sure.
It's a lot easier. Everybody lies. I don't care who you are. I know it's not the best thing to do in the world, but it's always the easiest out in some circumstances.
Sure. But the question still posed, I mean, realistically, why does she even have to have that conversation? Why does she have to deal? You wanted me to say that when a guy comes up to a woman at a bar and asks her for her phone number or whatever, she says no, that she should be rude right from the get-go.
I didn't say she should be rude right from the get-go. That did not come out of my mouth.
More direct?
Yes.
In a emphatic way?
Okay.
Using
I'm
language?
gonna need a dictionary for your crap. Holy smokes. Emphatic. Let me write that one down, because I certainly can remember what that means. I'm not saying she should have been rude. She should have been direct, and I don't think a lot of people are. Not necessarily women, men as well. But why is it my responsibility to step across the bar and say, look, you're bothering this young lady, leave her alone?
It's not the question of why, it's the question of when. When does it hit the line?
There is a line, correct. If she started to get obnoxious and loud, then I would have to say something. But until that point came, the easiest way out was to get another friend of mine to go sit with her. And when he did that, the guy left her alone.
And what happens if she asks for your help before he gets loud and obnoxious?
Well, then I'd obviously have to do something. She's a paying customer. She's there to relax. She's there to be by herself, do whatever. That's her business. that's a different story. But not once did she nod at me.
She
Not
didn't
once did she say
indicate.
anything. Not once. So, I'm not a mind reader.
In your experience as a bartender, you would like to see, and we're talking specifically about women here, you would like to see women that are being hit on by men that don't want to
What?
be. Just let me finish. You would like to see them be more direct, right off the gate, but not rude, just more direct. I have a boyfriend, I'm with somebody here,
Yes.
I'm meeting somebody, just lay it right out. And then you would like to see them be very specific if they're looking for help and indicate to you in a way that you know when
I've
it's
seen
time to
women
step
accept drinks from guys and then kick them to the curb. And I think that's quite funny, and the guy's an idiot for buying a drink if he stands no chance in hell scoring with her. So it's just like, it's a no-win situation as far as I'm concerned. But if you want help, ask for it. Don't beat around the bush, and don't come up to me afterward and say, why didn't you do anything? Well, I didn't know you wanted help.
I will agree with you 100%. If you want help, ask for it, and be direct, but polite. You're not trying to poke the lion if you've got, I mean, I've dealt with drunk men.
Well, I'm sure he
You
was
have
trying to
be-
poke something, so. But let's leave that for another day.
Let's leave that.
Cheers.